Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoes will help to make the season bright. Although it's been said, I don't know if that's the word. Many times, many ways, Merry Christmas. Woe to you. Ugh. Those weren't the right words, but whatever. How's everybody doing today? It is Elijah here with Gifted Hands Music, and today we're going to be covering the Christmas song. We've got it's December now if you're watching this month, and we got a lot of requests to break down the playthrough that I did actually I think last year. So we're gonna go ahead and break down the Christmas song. We're gonna dive into this. I'm gonna cover I guess just the basic chords that you need to know, and then at the very end of the lesson we'll talk about some advanced features, some advanced passing chords, advanced chord voicings, different things that you can do to give this song more of an advanced sound and a more advanced approach. But first, let's start with just the basics, the necessities in life. Let's get it, all right? So this song is in the key of D flat. I am pretty much basing this off of the Nat King Cole version. There's probably 100 million different versions of this song, but today we're going to be basing this off of the Nat King Cole version. And he is in the key of D flat. All right. So our scale for D flat: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. All right. So we're in D flat, and there's 3 sections to this song. We'll call it just the intro. Is the first section. We have an A section, which I like to call the verse, and then we have a B section, which I call the bridge. Okay. So 3 sections: intro, verse, bridge. That's it. Real simple. All right, and so for the intro, we do something like this. So that's kind of a way that you can play the intro. I think that's what Nat King Cole does in his version. Something like that, right? So let's figure it out. Let's walk through it. So the first 3 chords that we're going to play, remember we're in D flat. So the very first chord is going to be this flat 7 chord, we're going to call it. So a B dominant. Technically it's a C flat chord, but I'm just going to call it a B dominant. So B dominant, really, so what I'm playing is just a basic B7 chord in my left, root 3rd, flat 7th. Okay, and then my right hand, I'm going to play a D flat major triad. And by playing this triad, this is like the upper structure triad concept. By playing this triad in my right hand, along with the 7th chord in my left, that gives me my 9th, sharp 11th, and 13th. So B dominant with 13, sharp 11, and the 9. Okay, we're going to do that. And then we're going to go to the 2 chord, which is E flat minor. But before we hit the 2, we're just going to walk it down in half steps. So we're going to do E minor 9 to E flat minor 9. Okay. So here's my voicing for E minor 9. And then we're going to just move that down a half step, keeping that same voicing, keep it locked in, to E flat minor 9. So that gives us this nice sounding chord progression. Okay. Those are the first 3 chords. So after we get that, then there's this line, which is Okay, so I'm gonna give you all that. That's, whoops, F and A, F sharp and A sharp, or G flat, sorry, G flat and B flat. We're in D flat, so I'm supposed to use flats. Da-da, da. Okay, then this. Da, so, then G flat and B flat again. Okay, so that's the first half of it. Da, 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 first half, and then the second half. Well, we'll do that. C and E flat, D and F, E flat and G flat. Okay, then we'll hit these two, A and G flat. Then we'll hit the octave of A flat, or of A, octave of A. So that's da, 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 A, and then when we're here, pretty much we're landing on a D flat major chord, D flat major 7 chord. So all together. Okay, so that's that whole movement. I'll do it one more time from the beginning. I'm gonna play it very slowly. Okay, and so after I play that movement, you can really just play that with the right hand by itself if you want to. You can go to the 1, and I just like to do 1 over 1, right? 1 chord, and then this, I'm playing my 4 chord as a minor 6. So I'm playing G flat minor 6. This is my G flat minor 6, and I'm playing it over the 1. Back to the 1, and then back to the G flat minor 6. And that resolves to the 1. So that's just a quick movement that you can do, or else you're going to just hold the 1. And then you can just hold it out until you're ready to start the verse. So you can do that, or sometimes instead of going to the 1, I'll have the 5 as a pedal point. So the same chords in my right hand, but instead of resolving to the 1, to keep the tension going into the verse, I'll have the 5 as a pedal point in my bass. So the 5 is A flat. I'll keep 5 in the left hand, and then I'm playing, so just from the beginning. Verse. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost snipping, right? So we can keep that 5 in the bass, and then with the 5 is in the bass, we're hitting the 1 over 5. So D flat, like a D flat major 9 chord, I'm playing in my right hand over the 5. Okay. So 1 over 5 to 4 over 5, and we're playing, remember, G flat minor 6, the 4 chord as a minor 6. So G flat minor 6 over 5 to the 1 over 5 again, to the 4 over 5, 4 as a minor 6, G flat minor 6 over 5, and then that resolves to the 1, and then we're into the verse. All right, and so all that is, if you're wondering like why theoretically that works, when we do that, pretty much we're playing, I look at it as like a bunch of different harmonies for a 5 chord. Because think about it, the song starts, like the verse starts on the 1. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Right? So before I'm going into the verse, I can create like a 5-1 progression, which is just pretty much like a dominant resolving to the 1. So if I do 1/5, this gives me, not resolved. It's not resolved because it's a 1 in the bass, but the 5 still makes it sound like it needs to go somewhere. So 1/5 to the, and then when I put the 4, that minor 6, G flat minor 6 over the 5, that gives me a type of A flat sus voicing because I got a flat 9, 4, 5, and then a root. So even though this is 4/5, I'm technically getting like an A flat sus, a 5 sus chord, right? And then we're going back to the 1/5. So this is resolved, but not completely because I still got that 5 in the bass. And then we're going back to that sus voicing again with the 4/5. And then I can finally resolve the whole progression to the 1. Okay? So that's how you play the intro. Now, if you wanted to take this a step further, you can. We can do flat 7, minor 3rd to the 2, right? And we could do something like that. I think that's how I harmonized the intro and the playthrough that you'll see in the Academy. So it's pretty much the same thing. I'm keeping the melody line, right? The melody line that we learned. All I'm doing is adding chords to make it sound more full. So we still have the same chords, flat 7, flat, the minor 3rd to the 2, and then now I'm playing like this 4 chord and drop 2. So 4, 2, 2 inverted, and this is 2, my 2 chord and drop 2, E flat minor. It's still the 2 chord, and then I'm gonna change it to like a diminished to make that melody line fit. So. Okay. And then that I'm gonna use diminished chords. Alright, so that's just C diminished, we'll call it, or F sharp diminished, whatever you want to call it. C diminished, D diminished, C, D, E flat diminished, and then we resolve to either that 1/5 or just a 1, whatever you want to do. 4/5, 1/5, 4/5. Okay, and then resolve to the 1. So that's all that is. I'm just harmonizing the melody line. So harmonizing the melody just means I have these notes that are the melody in my right hand, but I want to take it a step further so I can create chords. And those are just random, really random chords that I picked up. As long as the melody line are in the chords, it works. But you could change the chords and you could reharmonize it and you could substitute chords to make it fit something that you want to do. But that's just a kind of a baseline of something that you can use. All right, so that's the intro. Spend enough time with that. Now let's move into the verse. So the verse I'm just going to go through pretty quickly, and it's going to be the basic way. So we have 1 chord, chestnuts, and then the 2 chord. 2 chord I'm playing as a minor 6, so E flat minor 6. So E flat, G flat, and then the C is the minor 6. Or really it's the major 6, but it gives me an E flat minor 6 chord. Okay, so 1, chestnuts, roasting 2, 3 chord,